Hey guys, it's Lina, and I am up today on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel, and I am so thrilled to put up this video today. So the inspiration for this week was that photo that you initially saw. It was a circular was a circular rainbow, and it was actually made up of tiny cars if you could see it closely. So what I'm doing here is I took the collection from Pink Paisley. I took Citrus Bliss, and that's what I'm going to use for my layout today. And what I did is I took my Martha Stewart, um, it's just the circle cutter, and it was just a perfect size. I just wanted a guide. Since I am going to use the circular aspect of the inspiration piece for my layout, and it just fit perfectly. So I didn't cut with it. I just circled around the outside of it. So I took one of the sheets from the paper collection, and I love this blue. It's just a very soft blue pattern, and it's super pretty. And I'm taking my Dilutions inks, and I didn't even use any gesso. I just went directly on there with the paper. With the ink, and I just created this circle effect, rainbow circle effect. And now I'm taking the black and just splattering it around the page. And you'll see now that I also take the white and splatter that around the page as well. So just to give it some more visual impact. So this was super fun, but I made a total mess, and I'm like OCD about messes. And so I kept cleaning in between, and just, it was a disaster. But it's clean now. So when I was done this, I just took my heat gun to it and dried everything off. So that's the picture I'm going to be using, and I started layering, but then I decided that I needed a bit of a frame to contrast with the papers. So I just stuck it on some white cardstock and created a thin little frame, and I'm going to be doing my layering with the papers from the same collection. And these papers are really, really fun. They're bright, they're colorful, and they scream summer. Although this picture is not a summer picture, the colors on my daughter's onesie totally screamed at me. So I was like, okay, this picture is getting scrapped with this collection, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because she has the exact same colors on onesie. So she was small here. She was only 11 months old, and I had given her first Oreo cookie, and she loved it. Needless to say, by the chocolate all over her face, and it's in her hand, and it's everywhere. But I had to snap this photo because she looked adorable, because she didn't know any better, and she was living life. She was eating an Oreo cookie. So I'm doing some layering here, and I'm keeping it pretty square for the most part. Because the photo is square, I decided to keep it all pretty much square, off-centering a bit of the papers, but still keeping a proportion. And sometimes I use my scissors, sometimes I use the cutters. So using scissors for me to cut, that's hard for me. I can't cut, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. So imagine cutting a straight line with a scissor. Yeah. So here we go. I'm starting to layer, and I'm going to start putting things down. And do you remember that circle I drew with my Martha Stewart cutter? Okay, I could barely see the faint line, but with it being there, I'm going to be able to put the title the way I want it. So the letters I'm using are from Pink Paisley as well, and they're from the Bella Rouge collection. And those are super cute. And I just got these, I think within the last month or two, and everybody and their mother has them, and I didn't for some reason. So I'm just going to spell out Oreo Cookie Monster. And it took me forever to find the O's and the K. So I finally find the letters, and then I'm going to put them on my layout here. And I'm going to edit a lot of this out because ain't nobody got time for that. I think I say that a lot, but nobody wants to watch it. And nobody wants to watch anybody glue down thickers or letter stickers, or I'll just fast forward for you. So I'll show you a bit here, but then I breeze through it here. And I'm using the Mono Tombow. I'm using Tombow Mono glue, and that dries clear. And I really like it because it's got a very strong hold, even with all that ink underneath it. So that is my go-to. Next here, I'm just taking the Citrus Bliss ephemera pack, and this pack is so much fun, and I wanted to use every single piece on here, but I just couldn't because it didn't go with what the whole layout was about. Like this ephemera would be like perfect for like pictures at the beach or the pool and that kind of stuff, but it didn't go with the layout. That lemon there I'm going to use. I was adamant about using it, and it says when life gives you lemons. So in this case, I'm referring to when you're eating an Oreo cookie, you better enjoy it. And what other way to enjoy it than to just have it all over the place and all over your face? At least I know she enjoyed it that way, right? So I'm just taking some of the label pieces that came in the collection, some of the brights. There's a lot of acetate pieces, which I love as well in this collection, and they're very, very fun. And one of them I end up using on the actual photo with a paper clip, mainly because I couldn't find my stapler. Oh gosh. Yeah, so that's the piece there. And I just use a paper clip. It just says young, wild, and free, which I thought was very fitting. So that's the lemon, and I'm going to use it. And I like the way it looked because on the opposite side of the page is that yellow and green. So I just thought it brought a bit of the yellow over to the other side and just made it more cohesive. So I'm just going to tuck a few things. Now I'm going to use some foam dots and pop up that heart. There's my head. And I'm going to use that lemon because I have to. I just love it too much. It can't go back in the pack. So I'm just going to tuck it underneath there and just make a bit of a cluster there in that corner. It's not a corner, it's the side. On the left side. And I contemplate on using the other pieces of yellow, but they just don't go. They just don't go with my photo. But I am determined to use this collection in its entirety. So there's a lot of gold in this collection as well. So there's hearts and some label pieces. And there's hearts in both cardstock, and there's hearts in acetate. So I use both, and I really like the look of both. And I got paint on my photo, white paint. You could see there. It's the white Dilutions. Gosh, I don't know how the heck that happened. But leave it to me to ruin the picture, and the only picture of that one I have. I usually print multiples of things, and that was one that I didn't. So I'm just doing some more tucking and placing of like labels and the ephemera that I thought did go with the layout. And I'm trying to keep it pretty simple actually, because the layout itself is, the background itself is busy. So I mean, I don't want to take away from the layout from the background. So right now I'm using some sequins, and in the yellow areas I'm placing yellow sequins, and in the green areas I'm placing green sequins, and in the pink areas I'm placing pink sequins. So I'm just, you know, adding the color, the same color where, the same color sequence where the colored ink is, if that makes sense. Oh, sequins, as much as I love sequins, I have a love-hate relationship with sequins because it just goes everywhere. My craft room is upstairs in my house, and I find sequins downstairs all the time attached to the baby's foot. It's everywhere. Once I even found sequins in her like in her shirt when I was changing her. And I was like, how the heck did this get here? How is this even possible? But it's like the glitter of the craft world. It's like, it's the herpes of the craft world. It's just, it gets everywhere because of the static. My gosh, I can't believe I just said that. But yeah. So I'm just adding more sequins here. I'm going to add the greens and the blues and get it all done. I left some of it in just to show you guys. And I hope you guys will check out the Crafty Maven Getaway. We have a Facebook page and we have a YouTube channel. And some days there will be multiple posters on YouTube. So it's just fun. Every day there's going to be a video, at least one video. So that's going to be super cool. So here I'm just taking some gold metallic thread. And I'm just going to tuck it underneath the corners of my photo on the sides there. And I really like the look of this, and I really like the way it just finishes everything off. Maybe you can see my head. No one wants to see my head. Come on, Lina. Yeah, so it's a fun group. So you guys can play along with us as well and join our challenges or the inspiration for the week. So I would get to the Facebook page and like that page so that we're in your feed, in your Facebook feed. So it's the Crafty Maven Getaway. It's here on YouTube. We will also be having, I think, a Instagram channel at some point. Instagram page at some point. And Pinterest, I believe, is all. We already have a Pinterest page. But there will be links, so just hang tight. So this is pretty much the layout now as is. So I just went back with the fine line bottle with the glue there to just add more glue because I found that some of it was coming up because I hadn't stuck it down properly. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed my layout, and I hope you guys will check us out on another day. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.